Hi Year 10 and welcome to the last of the videos that I will be doing for my university project, and therefore the last of the videos that I will be giving to you guys. Like I said in lessons, this is going to be taking a different format. We're not going to be doing choose your own adventure style. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. What I'm going to ask you to do is during this video write down 5 bullet points that you think will help you in this topic, and then next time I see you I'll be asking for some feedback. You'll be filling out the same kind of forms, etc, etc. Let's get on it. In the exams next year, you'll be asked to explore a theme or a character in detail. This means that you'll be taking the PEALR paragraphs that we've been doing together in class, individual ones, and cramming them into one essay. Now, we're going to be talking about this over the next few weeks, so don't panic. But I'm here to give you a few tips as to how to turn those PEALR paragraphs into a full-blown essay about an inspector calls. We're good. First, we're going to take a look at the question. For the purposes of this video, we will be using how does Priestley present Mr. Birling in An Inspector Calls? This is a fairly straightforward question as you only have to talk about one character. What you might notice though, and something that we have focused on in our lessons, is that the question is asking you to specifically explore how Priestley presents Mr. Birling. He is not a real person, he is not a character that has just sprung up out of the ground. He is a character that has been made for a purpose, and so this essay is basically asking you to explore what that purpose is. Why has Priestley presented Mr. Birling as the way he is? Why has he created him this way? So the first thing you might want to do is make a mind map or a plan. Put Mr. Birling in the centre and as many characteristics as you can. This would be a first step in doing an essay. You always plan. Always. So what I came up with is this. Mr. Birling, he's arrogant, he's rich and upper class, he's a father and a husband, he is a businessman and a boss to a lot of people, he's an influential person in the community. At the end of the play, he feels no responsibility whatsoever for what he has done. So all I need is around 5 to 7 points about Mr. Birling that I can turn into individual PEALR paragraphs. So let's take the example of businessman. Priestley presents Mr. Birling as a man more concerned with the running of his business to get gain than the impact of his actions upon workers or family. This is first seen in his interactions at the engagement party, when he says,
"Now you've brought us together, and perhaps we may look forward to the time when Crofts and Birlings are no longer competing, but are working together."
Clearly, Mr. Birling considers this engagement a business deal, as he believes getting close to his competitors will be beneficial. His concern over his business is also shown when his dealings with Edith Smith and her co-workers are revealed, and Eric gives his opinion.
"I'd have let them stay."
Here Priestley uses the contrast of the two characters to particularly highlight the injustice of Mr. Birling's business interactions for the audience to judge. Evidently, Priestley uses Mr. Birling to represent a society that is driven by money and which neglects the lives of others to get it. Now, that is a pretty full paragraph. Not only have we made a point, given evidence, lots of evidence, but we've also analysed the devices used by Priestley, the audience's perceptions, and also Priestley's purpose in creating Mr. Birling. Now we're going to link this paragraph to the next one. I'll start by taking another point that we made about Mr. Birling's character on the mind map. Here it goes. Not only is Mr. Birling a money-driven man with little regard to the lives of others, but Priestley also presents him as a man who refuses to accept responsibility for his actions. For example, in Act 3, after the inspector has left the house, Mr. Birling immediately tries to accuse his son, "I blame you for this." You would obviously then go on to explain further and analyse. You would mention language or dramatic technique, and then you'd finish by referring to the question or also linking to the next paragraph. When structuring your essay, there are a couple of different ways that you might approach it. First, you might look at a character in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 and structure it that way, seeing how the character progresses or doesn't progress, depending on who it is. You might also have a look at different themes. First, looking at social responsibility, then age, then class, social class. So there are several different ways that you can look at it, but what the examiner is looking for is to see that you know how to link your points together, that you're answering the question, how and why does Priestley present these characters in the way that he does? The purpose of this video was to make sure that you have 5 bullet points when considering how to plan and then structure an essay. So if you need to rewatch it, feel free. If you think you've got those 5 points down, I look forward to hearing about them in next lesson. Thanks guys, see you soon.